Almost every guy, at one point, has been left on red, but it's not 100% your fault. You see, men are visual creatures and are turned on by what they see. On the other hand, women are a lot more emotional and are turned on by what they hear, which is why they prioritize deep and meaningful conversations more than men. That's why. Even when a woman swipes right on an attractive guy's profile, he might not make it to the first date. If you jump into talking about sex too quickly, you risk turning her off. But if you play it safe and stick to mundane topics, you could lose her interest. So how do you find the sweet spot between looking like an eager pervert and getting stuck in the friend zone? Or worse, left on red? Well, if you stick around till the end of the video, I'll tell you how to master the art of conversation with women. First, we need to address some mistakes you're probably making when talking to women. The first one is what many ladies consider a red flag, but unfortunately, I still see a lot of guys getting too sexual too quickly. Brother, I know you want to make it clear from the jump that you're interested in being more than friends, but no woman wants to feel like a piece of meat. Imagine this, you go to a classy restaurant, and before even experiencing their great food or live music, they ask you to pay your bill at the door. Even if you had every intention of eating there, you'd probably feel like they were only after your money. You might even feel insulted and go eat somewhere else. Women are exactly the same. Even if she wants to sleep with you, you could drive her away by coming off too strong. I know you probably see it as harmless flirting, but if you jump at the first chance to turn the conversation sexual, it shows her you're immature and horny. Instead, keep your first few conversations friendly and light. If you really want to separate yourself from the immature men in her DMs, when offering a compliment, pick a non-sexual part of her body. For example, you could say, "I really like your smile. It makes you look so full of life." That way, she knows you're attracted to her, without being explicitly sexual. Once she's comfortable around you, you can start dropping hints that you're interested in more. For instance, if she shares an interesting story about something she did in the past, you could say, "Wow, I can tell you enjoy trying new things. I wonder if you're just as adventurous in other areas of your life." To which she might reply, "I guess you'll have to find out." Now, that doesn't mean you should overdo it by complimenting her smile, eyes, or soft hands at every chance you get. The thing about beautiful women is that they know they're beautiful. Don't let movies deceive you into thinking she's waiting for a guy with the heart of gold to take off her glasses and help her realize how beautiful she is. You're not One Direction. Since she was a teenager, the girl you like has probably heard from countless men, from roadie construction workers to strangers in her comment section, how hot she is. So by the time she meets you, telling her you're beautiful is as good as saying the sky is blue. Now I know you're confused because I just told you to give her non-sexual compliments in the beginning, but trust me, I'm going somewhere with this. The trick to winning her heart is to make your compliments rare. Telling her she's gorgeous every morning will quickly get stale, and make her roll her eyes every time she reads your messages. But when your compliments are few and far between, she'll replay them again and again in her head, because they'll be gold. As simple as this trick is, a lot of guys still miss it because of a major underlying problem. Before I tell you what it is, let me share an example so you get the point. Imagine if Mike Conley walked into your local gym. He'd most likely be the tallest person in the room, and everyone would try to take pictures with him because he's famous. Now, if he walked into a locker room with other NBA players, he wouldn't receive the same treatment because the men there have all achieved the same level of success as him. Do you see where I'm going with this? If you give away too many compliments, the girl you like will see you as a fan and start to think she's better than you. But if you withhold your compliments for rare occasions, you'll be her equal. She might even start to believe you're better than her if you compose yourself well during your conversations. And I'll tell you 3 ways you can compose yourself better right now. 1. Pay attention to your body language. Half of communication is non-verbal, and body language plays a key role in how women view you. Think about the bad boys girls typically go for in movies. Besides being attractive, they're always super confident and look relaxed in every situation. Now, I'm not going to tell you to stand taller, keep your chin up, or any of those other tips, because you'll just overthink and end up looking fidgety. Just remember this one thing, don't lean into her. This simple trick does 2 things. It shows you're not eager to get up close and personal with her, like everyone else. It gives her a reason to get closer to you when you're talking. That brings me to the second way you can compose yourself better. Don't turn into an interviewer. By that I mean, avoid asking monotonous Q&A style questions just to get to know her. It can quickly get boring, and before you know it, she might start ignoring your texts because your conversations aren't stimulating. Instead, try showing you're curious by asking follow-up questions. This encourages her to keep talking instead of just waiting for the next line of interrogation. Here's an example of how a conversation could go. You, what do you like to do for fun? Her, I love dancing. You, wow, I'm jealous. I have 2 left feet and always embarrass myself on the dance floor. Why do you like it so much? Her, my mum was a professional dancer when she was alive, and I enjoyed watching her for hours. It's one of the ways I still feel connected to her. You, I'm sure she was an incredible dancer. You must miss her a lot. Can you see how this method of asking follow-up questions helps her open up more and even confide in you? And did you catch the last sentence in that example? It's my third and final point on how to compose yourself during conversations with women. By making a statement about how she feels, like saying, you must miss her a lot, you show that you're not just listening, but you actually understand her. Women tend to be a lot more emotional than men, and by displaying some emotional intelligence, you'll put yourself miles ahead of the other guys in her DMs. But here's a caution, don't overdo it. You don't want her to feel like you're imposing the wrong emotions on her. Sometimes it's better to leave your questions open-ended. For example, you could ask, so do you enjoy dancing because it makes you feel free? This gives her the chance to agree or even disagree and explain what other emotions she experiences. The key is to show that you're listening by latching onto something she says and demonstrating that you understand her without feeling pressured to always agree with her. You can still politely disagree, like saying, I prefer activities with less rhythm, or playfully add, I bet I could still dance circles around you. Here's the bottom line, stay genuine in your interactions. That way you won't have to maintain a facade and she'll find your conversations much more stimulating. But mastering the art of conversation, that's only the first step in getting your dream girl to fall head over heels for you. If you want her to stay, you need to avoid the 7 biggest mistakes men make with women, and you can learn exactly what they are right now.